Hello warriors, what's going on? This is Christina Charles, and welcome to my channel, Best Choice Battle, and today we're going to see what sugar addiction is, and what's all about it. I'm sure we all are fighting with sugar addiction, since we ever know what sugar is. Well, my dear warriors, I say breaking the sugar addiction is really not as hard as we think, if we understand real facts about sugar addiction. Before we getting into the topic, I would like to give a quick heads up. This subject sugar addiction is so vast and would be covered in 3 to 4 videos, which I'm going to talk everything about sugar addiction, right from science, myths, disadvantages, tips, alternatives, with simple and easy physical workout methods to break this addiction. So, without a further ado, let's go. Basically, sugar is an element extracted from plants like cane and sugar beet, which is polished into a white crystal-like material. The only reason I'm telling about this is because this is the exact same procedure in which flour is made. Flour is obtained from the crushing and polishing of grains into a mysteriously similar white substance as sugar. Since their consequences on the bloodstream, insulin, and brain are virtually the same, they are both considered as sugar in the context of this video. So why is sugar very addictive, as same as the drugs like cocaine? Because they cause a supernatural release of dopamine in the brain. Dopamine is the principal neurotransmitter involved in addiction. In fact, multiple research studies have now discovered that sugar and sweet rewards can not only substitute addictive drugs like cocaine, but can even be more fulfilling and attractive. The brain chemistry of those addicted to drugs and those addicted to sugar are virtually identical. In general, we majorly see 2 sources of sugars. First one is sugar from natural foods, and the second one is artificially added sugars. Natural sugars in whole foods, like tomatoes, carrots, apples, oranges, is not a problematic, because they contains fiber, and they have many vitamins and minerals. Artificially added sugars are majorly seen in foods like breakfast cereals, processed foods, snacks, candies, etc. What does sugar do to your body and how bad it is? Well, there are hundreds of disadvantages of consuming sugars, but I'm going to list only top 5 among them. Number 1. Sugar is the premier definition of empty calories. It is no real nutritional value, no nutrients, no minerals, no proteins, and no fiber. Because of this lack of nutrients, sugar makes you feel hungry. A study done by Yale University says, those who consume more sugar had an increased appetite and desire, crave for more food. So sugar not only does fill you up with empty calories, it makes you want more of those calories. This process happens when sugar screws up the hormonal levels in the body. Number 2. Sugar causes belly fat. Numerous studies have shown direct links from sugar to the increased accumulation of belly fat. This is the worst kind of fat, because it is the one associated with all sorts of diseases, including the world's #1 killer, that is heart disease. Despite knowing all of this, it's hard to stop eating sugar. Number 3. Sugar is addictive, similar to drugs like cocaine. Scientists have shown that sugar causes a very similar dopamine release. In the brain, studies on neuroplasticity have also shown that drug users have very similar behavioral addictions to those addicted to sugar. Number 4. Sugar can give you wrinkles and adds age to your face. Scientists from Leiden University Medical Center in the Netherlands measured the blood sugar levels of 600 men and women aged between 50 and 70. Then, they showed the photographs of these people to 60 separate participants and found that those with higher blood sugar looked older than those with lower blood sugar levels. In fact, for every 1 millimeter per liter increase in blood sugar, the perceived age of that person rose by 5 months. Sugar is associated with acne. Foods ranked high on the glycemic index, such as sugar and refined carbs, have been associated with greater amounts of acne on the face and body. According to the latest research study of Australian men, showed that those who ate a diet with a low glycemic load saw a great reduction in overall acne. It was a small study with only 23 men, but is still food for thought. Number 5. Sugar intake increases the risk of developing certain types of cancers. There has been a direct link seen between breast and colon cancer with sugar consumption. This is likely due to the fact that insulin is one of the key factors behind the growth and multiplication of cells. And sugar spikes insulin to abnormally high levels. Well, my dear warriors, in this video, I'm going to give very quick tips which could help you break the sugar addiction. Later in this week, I'm going to make a separate video to put all the tips and alternatives to fight with the sugars. So, number 1. Eat more whole foods. Whole foods are foods that are in their natural form. So, for example, fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, that sort of things. When you eat whole foods, there are no added sugars, it's not processed, and no one added sugar to it. So if you have a diet that is primarily whole foods, you automatically reduce the amount of sugar in your diet. Number 2. Eat more protein. When you don't eat enough protein with every single meal, your blood sugar tends to be a little bit erratic. So let's say you have breakfast, it's a sugary breakfast cereal with a little bit of milk. And you're out the door at around 8 o'clock. So you've had your breakfast around 7:30. By the time 10:30 rolls around, you're probably going to be hungry. That's because your breakfast didn't have enough protein and it had too much sugar. So your blood sugar went up and then you had that dip, and during that dip, you have that sugar craving. Now if you want to prevent that sugar craving, a good idea is to get enough protein with every single meal. Number 3. Drink little amounts of apple cider vinegar throughout your day, along with water. Vinegar increases the fullness you feel from your meals, and causes people to eat 200 to 275 fewer calories throughout their day. Apple cider vinegar can also help you fight sugar cravings by stopping those midday crashes with its blood sugar level effects. Drink 2 tablespoons and 8 ounces of water 30 minutes before your meals for best results. Number 4. Avoid getting too hungry. When we are extremely hungry, we may get uncontrollable and can make wrong choices. The cravings tend to increase. Then we feel like eating junk foods like chocolate, pizza, burgers, chips, etc. And you don't get controllable about your food desires. It has been proven that this makes people sleep less and feel tired while they crave more. Number 5. Replace regular coffee with decaf coffee. It looks like decaf coffee has finally found its place in the world now. It does have antioxidants and nutrients. It is also a strong appetite suppressant. In fact, it was proven to beat out regular coffee and caffeine pills for helping people stop cravings. Alright my dear warriors, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's catch with another video this week, which I'm gonna talk about more in detail tips and alternatives for sugars. Until then, keep fighting with all kind of sugars. Please don't give up. I promise, we all win this battle. If you like this video, please encourage us with like and comment under this video. For helpful content, subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.